friends, it's me, Vivian from ThePaperLetterBlog, also known as the Chatty Penpal channel, and today I'm going to show you how to turn a window envelope like this into a super cute Penpal window sleeve. I'm still workshopping the name. I'm going to show you how I do this, which is of course very simple, but still really, really fun. I'm going to show you how I decorate it, and you will also see what I include in this pocket. So the first thing I do is I have this envelope, which is of course a junk mail envelope, Sorry friends, I forgot to mute my Discord and I'm completely lost. What was I doing? Oh yeah, okay, I'm going to show you what I do here is a very simple trick. I'm basically holding the envelope and the paper that I want to cover the envelope with in the light. So I used see-through tray so that I can trace the window through the paper. Because of course, like, trying to guess where the window is in this paper is almost impossible. So use the light trick. You have some light at the back of the envelope shining through the paper, and that shows you where to cut the window. Or in my case, I cannot talk. In my case, tear the window, because I love the look of torn paper, so that is what I've done here. It's messy, it's imperfect, but I think it actually works better in most projects than a perfectly cut line. And then apparently I'm also gluing this page onto the back. If you're wondering where that cute paper is from that I'm using in this moment, it is from a flow book for paper lovers. I'm boring like that, but I always prefer their one color pages over the busy prints because I can use them for so many projects. And then this paper pad I am using, it is called Rainbow Road, I think, Rainbow Avenue, I forgot. I will link it down below if I do not forget. And I love that collection so much, but I barely ever use it, so I decided to do so for this project. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to have this as the pocket, obviously. So this will open, as you can see, this opens from the side, and then I'm just creating a flip or a page to connect to that, so that it's a little booklet instead of, why is my computer making so much noise? A little booklet instead of just an individual pocket. Of course, having this as the pocket, like a standalone pocket, would also work just fine. I just wanted to create a little extra something to create it, or to turn it into a bit of a booklet, if you will. The reason why I am so excited about this project is because I actually made it to fit a mini pocket letter, and it fits absolutely perfectly. So a mini pocket letter basically is, if you know a pocket letter, it has this turned out so well. This turned out a little bit less well, but I actually end up liking the fact that you can see the pink paper when it's closed. So I didn't give enough space for that front flap. It's not long enough, not wide enough, but I actually end up liking it more this way. But a mini pocket letter is basically 3 pockets instead of 9. So if you know what that looks like, you will know that this fits perfectly. If you don't know what a pocket letter is, I'm showing mine. I think it's shown at the end of this video. So yeah, I do not have exact measurements for this, so I don't know if you can call this a tutorial or more of an inspiration video, and that is of course because this envelope is going to be different for everyone. This is not a standard sized envelope. This is an envelope that I received in the mail, and I just kept it for this exact purpose, turning it into something cute. So there are no exact measurements, but I would obviously suggest just starting with whatever envelope you have laying around. Bonus points if there's a window. It doesn't even have to have a window. I mean, I just think this looks cute, but that's not needed at all. Here is the pocket letter. This is a pocket letter, and it fits perfectly. And this is my happy dance, because apparently I did not even measure that. beforehand. So this one only has 1 out of the 3 pockets filled. But basically, if you do not know what this is, it's a playing card holder for like people who collect baseball cards or Pokemon cards. And of course, the crafty community turns that into a Happy Mail to fill it up with pretty decorated pages rather than playing cards. But yeah, that's basically what it is. And the reason why I made this is because we were doing a mini pocket letter swap over on my Patreon quite a while ago. I made this, I think, over a year ago, but I'm not exactly sure. So we were doing a mini pocket letter swap, and I wanted to create something extra to accompany it, to send it out in. It was also very easy for me to do this because my swap ended up going to someone in the Netherlands, and of course Dutch postage is a lot cheaper than international postage. So if I'm matched with someone from the Netherlands, I will usually put in a bit more goodies, a bit more stuff, simply because it's not as expensive. But yeah, I'm gonna take a sip of my iced coffee because it's almost turning lukewarm. I thought I messed this up. I did apparently, but I am using the word punch to create the word hello and then the word Sarah. If you want to know, if you have one of these and you want to know how to space the letters closer together, because when you use it normally, it's of course very far apart. The letters are very far apart, but as you can see here, I'm spacing mine a lot closer together. And what you do is you can see it here. Kind of, it's difficult to explain, but there's a trick online. There's a YouTube tutorial that I followed way back in the day. So basically, you do half the letters first. So the first letter, the third letter, the fifth letter in this case, and then you do the second letter and the fourth letter separately, spaced about, I think it's 3 dots apart. It's very difficult for me to explain this right now, but look up. There is a YouTube tutorial that I followed many years ago, and that is how you can space the letters closer together. Let me know if you want to know how to do this, or if you cannot find the tutorial, because I think I can try to find it for you. I might try and link it in my description box down below, but I always promise these things and then I forget. So if I have forgotten to link that video down below, do let me know, because I do intend to include it. So what I did is I did that hello Sarah, and then I backed it on some white paper, because otherwise you cannot actually read what it says. I just think this makes the letters pop out a little bit more. And then we're going to start the decorating. I have already started with that little flower at the bottom. I didn't want to do too much to this front page, which is also why I did the hello Sarah, because the print with the coffee cups is, first of all, adorable, and second of all, it's already quite busy, like really busy. I'm just noticing now. Oh, no, never mind. It's already quite busy, so I didn't want to do too much to that. So we're doing the letters, the words, and then a little decoration in the bottom. And then I'm also creating a closure out of this elastic band. If you've been with me for a very long time, like 8 years, you will know that I used to sell hair ties. Back when I was in therapy and when I couldn't work, I wanted to do something and I sold hair ties. I think I had like 6 orders in total, but I have so much of that elastic band left over. So it's just laying there. It's just going to waste. And what I do with it is sometimes I will create hair ties for myself and sometimes I will create these kind of closure bands. I wanted to make it extra special, but I ended up messing it up. I wanted to create a closure with like a hole and then a button so that you can open and close it. But this ended up not really working out because the band stretches out. Of course, it's elastic and it's not. It's a little bit crooked. It's a little bit. I ended up doing 3 buttons because they were so oddly spaced. In the end, I like it, but it's definitely not what I had intended when I started this. But yeah, so what I'm creating now is a belly band, a belly band to hold my letter behind. So we already have that large pocket on the right for the pocket letter and the goodies, and then this is going to have the letter, as I already said. So you just fold over, you grab a strip of paper, Those 12 by 12 paper pads always have the strips at the top that I love repurposing. And you fold over just a little bit on the left and you fold over a little bit on the right, and then you glue that down and you can tuck stuff behind it. It's literally that simple, but it's a very fun way to include something extra in your project. If you're wondering what the heck I'm doing here, I added way too much glue to this Hello die cut. So I used my glue eraser, which is honestly my favorite tool because me and glue, we are not friends. I make so many mistakes. I have this all the time. So I just erase all of the glue and then I continue and I try to be better. So yeah, this belly band just has a rainbow, the hello, and then that little flag, and I think it looks very cute. Of course, I will write my letter afterwards. And then the fun part, but also difficult, I'm going to decorate around this window. I ended up loving how this turned out, but I do have to say that I also struggled with this a little bit off camera. People sometimes think because my videos are sped up 4 times that I am like some kind of magician and that crafting comes like automatically to me. It's quite the opposite. Very often when I film videos, I will also rummage around my supplies and see what I can come up with off camera, just so that my videos are not 7 hours of me not being able to decide what to stick where. But in the end, this turned out so me. Like, we have all of the flowers and then we have these adorable leaves and little flowers, and I'm just creating kind of a border around the torn paper, and I think it looks wonderful. I am so happy with this. All of the die cuts do match the collection, so it's easy to mix and match. But yeah, I honestly think this is one of my favorite pages. I don't know how to say this. One of my favorite wreaths I've ever done. We also have that cute flower bird that is one of those mini cut aparts, and it's square, and I always struggle when things are perfectly neat, like a neat square that doesn't look right, especially when you have torn paper. So I actually tore out the bird by hand. So rather than cut it out, I tore it out, so you have more of that torn paper. I don't know if I'm making sense, but when I discovered my style and when I discovered crafting and what worked for me, I noticed that things like that really help me. Torn paper is much easier to work around than perfectly cut lines. It just doesn't feel right when something is perfect in crafting. Maybe that's just me. Maybe it's because I'm imperfect. I don't know. But yeah, we're just decorating. Wow. A little break in my talking. I have been very rambling this video, but I also have to say that I've been home for 4 days because last weekend we went to Best Kept Secret Festival, and I always plan some extra days off around that just so that I can relax and recharge and have some time to myself. And I have to admit that I needed that so much more than I had anticipated. So yeah, that also means that I've been home alone for the past 4 days, and maybe that's why I'm so rambly, I don't know. But I really needed that time to recharge. I have to say that I used to talk a lot about mental health and about what I'm doing in the background is creating a border with little dots with a white jelly roll. I love the way this finishes the page. But when I started this channel, I used to talk a lot about mental health and going to therapy and my anxiety and all of that. And I haven't really been doing that for a while. And one of the reasons is for a long time, everything was better. And then when things started to get worse again, it felt really difficult to start talking about it again. It was just difficult. And then another reason is because my work colleagues found my YouTube channel. I told them about it, and then they actually started watching my videos, and it just felt weird. I would tell them about my mental health, but for them to listen to my videos, that felt strange. So I stopped talking about mental health, but I want to pick that back up again. Also because for those of you who are not into that kind of chat, like, okay, hello friends, my name is Vivian and I'm depressed. If you're not into that, I want you to know that it helps a lot of people, and I think that it's important to talk about that as well. Like, I've received a lot of letters. I have a PO box that I send and receive mail from lovely subscribers, and I've received a lot of letters, and most of those, like, if someone said thank you, I want to say 7 out of 10 people said thank you for talking about mental health, and 3 out of 10 people would say thank you for the tutorials, which to me says enough about how much we need to talk about it. Like, people told me that they felt more normal because I spoke about mental health. So I want to start doing that again. I want to tell you that I have an intake for new therapy very, very soon. I'm crossing all of my fingers and toes that it will work out, because I haven't been doing great, and I really want to live. I really want to have more of a life than I have right now, and I want to see if I can include you in that a little bit, because talking about mental health, I think, is now more important than it has ever been, and I also know that I'm not the only one. So here is, that's a little bomb to drop on you all, but this is the finished project. I ended up including that pocket letter, of course, and then a bunch of pet tapes. There's also goodies in the pocket letter itself. If you want to see how I made that pocket letter and what goodies I included and all of that, definitely check out the tutorial I did for that a little while ago. Also, don't forget to check out my latest PO box opening videos. I also did a real-time tutorial. That's all on my channel. I just haven't promoted it much because, as I mentioned, mental health issues. But I hope you will check them out, and I hope you're all doing well, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!